As one parent once said, if every child matters, then every parent matters.
You could have a go at scoring the errors with the MSV. Do you remember the MSV? The meaning,
structure, vision.
Wow, fantastic. So meaning, does it make sense? Structure, can you say it like that?
This is a staff room at Leighton Primary School in Crewe, but most of these people discussing the way children learn to read aren't teachers, they're parents.
Good, you're doing good.
I like doing this.
You like doing them?
Yes, I do. I like doing the one in the course.
Shall I go faster then?
No.
The school's Special Educational Needs Coordinator runs courses accredited by the Open College Network aimed at helping parents as well as teachers and support staff to gain an insight into how children read and how they can read with children.
Doing the reading course with Vicky, it's been a fantastic experience. I've learnt so much about children and reading with children.
Pop this on just to remind you about the way we score up a running record, and we need to do a little bit more practice.
Having put reading at the top of its literacy agenda, the school recognises the benefits of sharing their professional expertise with parents.
Parents do not know what goes on, and it's important to share that with them, because the children, we're sending books home with the children and expecting parents to know what to do to them.
There's never any sense in which any parent is patronised that similar courses for the parents as for the teachers and the assistants. So therefore you'll have a consistency of approach that permeates the whole of the school.
When is it good to have an easy book?
To give your child confidence.
Absolutely.
This particular course examines reading at Key Stage 1, but it's also providing parents of Key Stage 2 children with some useful insights.
Print just doesn't appeal to everybody. Some children just don't get the understanding of it, where I thought they did. If you sat a child down with a book and they've learnt at school, I would have thought they could read to me. So maybe if I'd have done the course, I'd have been more understanding. But it's also helped with Katie. I mean, I know she's in Key Stage 2, but again, listening to her, I'm a little understanding that maybe she does make a mistake. I don't sort of be to shout at her or, more understanding.
Some children are natural readers, obviously some aren't, and there's children that need a lot more input into them. I personally have a child as well that isn't particularly very good at reading. He's also got a few other issues. It's helped me to put so much more into him.
So the sorts of things that you learned on the Level 2 course about concepts about print.
Thanks to courses like this, parents are finding that they can support learning at home with greater confidence.
You've learnt so much that you have to stay calm with the children, you have to praise the child, you don't criticise the child. And one of the things, I want my husband to actually sit with Vicky or maybe even come on one of these courses, because I want my husband obviously to read with the child, but they tend to be a little bit too aggressive with them when reading, and I've certainly learnt that.
Parents are on our side, they know what we're about, and also it's lovely to have parents coming in and helping.
We've actually started to, in a sense, have our own in-house qualified, highly trained, highly skilled assistants with the knowledge to support children, particularly in literacy.
Leighton serves a diverse community on the outskirts of Crewe. Head teacher Glyn Turner understands that the learning environment needs to extend beyond the school gates.
Over the last few years, I've found myself on occasion coming down into the community to ensure that the children are in school. One of the things that we're really aiming for is to ensure that our school works in the community, for the community, and involves parents and other family members, so it becomes by the community as well.
It's nice to come into school and give a bit back of what you've had out of the school as well. I think it's nice to carry that support through. I think it's good for your children to see you supporting the school.
Year 3 pupils are enjoying watching a story being brought to life thanks to a story sack, including props which have been made by parents, like this mum, Jenny.
I wonder which fruit she'll like best. Will she like the soft yellow banana? Or the sweet-smelling guava.
Family learning is integral to the work of the school. Now, that may mean parents accessing learning either in terms of helping the child with reading. In other cases, it could be some parents have particular sewing skills to make story sacks.
When you've seen the storybooks, the story sacks and how they work, it makes your imagination go a bit more to town, and it gets you asking your children more questions about the book and what's happening and, you know, their feelings towards it, rather than it just being words on a page, you know.
Or the tangy purple passion fruit.
It's one thing just reading and another thing to actually really understand the concept of a story or whatever it is.
It comes alive more. You can get involved more in a story when you're reading it with your child, and you can, you know, try and imagine what's happening, and the words sort of aren't just words on a page anymore.
Will she like the spiky-leaved pineapple? The goat comes and butts the tree, doesn't he?
Some parents can feel excluded from their children's schooling. Through both formal and informal approaches, Leighton is trying to reach out and show all parents that they can help.
I'm not like, because of my language, I feel lost my idea and everything. But once I'm there and then see the teacher and the tutor and also my friend, that's fine. I can do, you know, like as long as the tutor will give me some assignment, that's fine for me. With a little help with my husband. He does the scenery, the tree, and the board. And how to work.
Story sacks allow Vicky to help parents understand some core objectives for literacy.
It's very, very useful for recalling events, sequencing them, improving memory, all these skills which start off with knowledge, and memory is a big part of that.
As a group, we had to decide what was important, which characters were important, and also what we wanted the kids to get from the story sack.
They are quite capable to read, just, you know, read lines. But obviously, it's not all really sinking in. And from that point of view, you, as a parent, you wonder, you know, whether I shouldn't ask a question just to check and did you understand?
We're so happy with this project, and it's been so successful. Obviously, it's useful for nursery and Key Stage 1, but we've decided to develop it through into Key Stage 2, where we still have this love of books, but we're looking at perhaps a shorter novel and developing activities and ideas from that novel.
It was fun because I got to bash the tree and all the coal and mango falls down, and it's different to normal stories because we don't get to do that and it's not that much fun. We just have to sit on the carpet and listen.
Yeah, I read it myself, so I might buy it at the weekend or something and read it.
Following Vicky's courses, several parents like Mrs. Storey have chosen to take on further training to become teaching assistants.
But there's no one else, said Steve.
You just read that beautifully to me. You're really enjoying it at the moment, aren't you?
It can sometimes be very difficult to find a parent or an assistant who can offer 12.5 hours per week. As we move towards more inclusive education and children in mainstream require some sort of support, we have parents available within our community to support those children. Now, you imagine you've not just got a parent then who can work with an individual child at home or a family of children, but also can come in and give us some time in school.
Mrs. Storey now helps run a homework club for Key Stage 2 children who want added support.
You're saying describe the first day and then what the children do.
More complicated to do at home because you've got more people walking around you. It's helped me to learn more about doing homework and get more experienced in it.
I've got a daughter in year 4. I when she joined reception, I wasn't very clued up at all about what happened at the school. So I thought it was about time I got some training back again, and that's what's really given me the idea to come along and further myself and help Emma, obviously, as well along the way.
To have parents in to support is fantastic, and it's all helped towards the Family Learning Quality Kite Mark, which we've just received.
The focus very often, because of the nature of part of this community, is for the special needs coordinator to be responsible for learning needs. The learning mentor takes account of emotional needs, and in my capacity as the head, I ensure that we meet with all child protection arrangements, looked after children. We have a regard for all of the children through that triangulation. But the community itself wants success for its children, and it works very, very hard to support the school.
Some of my parents were non-attenders in schools themselves, or didn't like school as an institution. So getting them in school now with their children, we try and break that pattern and get them to enjoy school. And it's not such a frightening place. It's not difficult to come and talk to a member of staff. And hopefully that's why I'm here, so that doors open constantly. They come in before school, after school, with any problems, either with themselves or with the children.
If you have an open door policy, and as a Senko you do, then you start to meet parents along the way, and you know, we're working together on a child's progress. But I think it's important for a school to look at what they're offering, look at what they're expecting, send out a questionnaire, find out what parents want. As long as we're open to suggestions, then I think it's going to work.
Some parents wanted to come into school to learn basic computing in order to share and develop another significant aspect of their children's literacy and learning.
I've got two boys, one's 6 and one's 9, and the eldest one, who's 9, he'd rather play games on the computer. So we've stopped all that now, and I can now help him to research his homework, like they've just done about the Egyptians. So we've now gone onto the internet together and researched about all the Egyptians, and that's helped with his homework.
Did you? It's well worth coming into school. Rather than sitting at home like some parents would do, it's nice to come in and actually see what children do and what facilities they can use. And it gives you a better understanding of how they're being taught, and then you can help them with their homework and along the way like that. And as for coming in and doing a computer course, when you've got children interested in computers, it really gives them a good push on because they can see you're sharing the interest with them.
The children are taught so different from how we were taught, so it's given us a good insight onto what they're doing.
And as far as the children's concerned, it's given me more confidence to teach them how to use a computer, so not to be scared of it as well.
The school is tapping into the vital contribution which parents can make to literacy. There's a consistency of message reaching not just staff, but parents too.
Family learning has been central to what we've wanted to achieve, and Cheshire has a very strong lifelong learning tradition and a particularly effective kite mark that I would definitely recommend other schools embracing, because it's a very useful audit and guide to encouraging and enhancing family learning in your school.